In today's episode, we discover a vortex, get a taste of the Old West, and ride something scary. My wife and I are on a motorcycle trip through Central and South America to explore new cultures and food. So bring an appetite for adventure, because we're hungry riders.
We arrived in Sedona just in time for sunset. We've heard many tales of the vortexes in Sedona, but we've never been to one, so we got up early the next morning to find out what it's all about.
What's a vortex? How it was explained to me is a energy coming up through the center of the earth, and Sedona has some areas that they're intensified, and some are male and some are female, and you can, if you're intuitive, you can feel that energy. And the New Age movement and people that believe in that have really capitalized on it in Sedona.
Have you ever felt it?
No, I have not personally.
We are at the vortex in Sedona. I'm gonna try to feel some energy.
Some cultures call it God.
Okay.
Other cultures call it all different things. He's been there since before time ever started, and he's going to be there since after time will end. And he's all-seeing and all-knowing, but you can't see him. You can't speak directly to him, but he's out there, and more lives have been lost in wars fighting over this concept that you can't put your finger on than anything else.
That's true.
Is that more believable than this? I don't know.
Do you feel it?
Yeah, I do feel it.
Yeah, I'm hungry too. Let's go eat. And we really were hungry. Grandma wanted Polish food for her 88th birthday, and while we don't have many traditions in my family, a large Polish meal in honor of my great-grandmother is one of them. My grandma also told us some stories. See Motobite 3.1 for a Michigander perspective of traveling in the southern US in the early 1940s.
We wanted to squeeze in a dual sport ride early in the morning before it got too hot, so we climbed Schneebly Hill, which gave us an excellent vista of the Sedona area. So while most people rave about Mexican food in Arizona, we plan to explore that while we're actually in Mexico, so instead, we went looking for a taste of the Old West.
So we're here in Uptown Sedona at the Cowboy Club. We've heard that they have some very interesting southwestern type menu items, such as cactus fries and rattlesnake meatballs with green chili sauce. Those are things that I've never tried before, and we're gonna go inside and see how they make them and see how they taste. So let's go try it. So we're here in Sedona, Arizona. I'm here with Andrew, the executive chef of the Cowboy Club. They have a really interesting menu here, and one of the items on the menu is actually snake meatballs and cactus fries. And it sounds really interesting, and he's going to tell us a bit more about that.
So the rattlesnake, it's a cool cowboy thing, you know, we kind of stick with the southwestern theme. And we just made a meatball with green chili sauce, so it's more of a novelty thing. It tastes like alligator, but if you haven't had alligator, you're going to say turkey. That seems to be the closest thing, kind of like a fishy turkey, if you will.
You're right, kind of turkey.
Yeah.
Doesn't taste too lizard or
No, it's not too fishy.
Yeah, I'd say it's a poultry of some sort, but yeah, that's very tasty. Green chili goes with everything.
The cactus rise, that's another thing. That's just a cool thing because people can see the cactus everywhere outside in the fruits, and they see all the purpleness to it, and you're like, what is that, you know? And you burn the needles off and kind of peel it like a pepper. You scorch it and peel it like a pepper, and we soak it in buttermilk because it's really slimy. It's kind of like okra.
It's the fruit or the actual
Well, we
leaf?
do both. We take the leaves, and then we cut that down and soak it in buttermilk. And it's, like I said, it's kind of slimy like okra. And then we do our flour seasoning, a little cornmeal, and fry it for about 15 seconds. And then out of the fruit, we add a little jalapeno, a little sauce to it, and some spices and stuff. And we make the dipping sauce out of the fruit too.
That's really good. Still very tart. We've got the prickly pear sauce. It's a very different flavor than anything I've tried.
We got a lot of buffalo too. And if you're gonna try buffalo for the experience, the tenderloin's the way to go. It's sweet, it's a little bit sweeter, and it's really lean. So, you know, everyone's going healthy these days, and that's the way to do it.
Super tender.
Yeah.
Very, very juicy.
Get a little bit of the sweetness from there.
We also tried the wine braised buffalo short ribs, which were excellent.
That's really good.
So we came for the cactus fries and the snake meatballs, but they insisted we try the buffalo short ribs, and boy am I glad they did, because they're some of the best ribs that I've ever had. We want to thank the Cowboy Club for sharing the recipe for prickly pear fries, which you can find on our website at hungryriders.com. Then we wanted to do something as a family, so we decided to take my feisty grandma out wine tasting.
So we are on our way to Caduceus Cellars and Merkin Vineyards tasting room. It's located near Jerome, which is near Sedona. We heard about this winery from a documentary called Blood into Wine. This was actually started by Maynard James Keenan, who you might know from the bands like Tool or A Perfect Circle. We used to live right near Napa, and we've done some wine tasting up there, but we've never tasted Arizona wine. So hopefully Maynard's wine is as good as his music.
I go like this.
Yeah, you can finish that if you want.
Is that how you do it?
I'd probably like it more.
What these guys do that's very different and very popular is blends. Rather than just doing Merlot or Grenache or Syrah, they're blending these wines together, and they have over 60 different blends of wine.
So we tried some wines at Caduceus Winery. Now we're here at Oak Creek Winery trying some more. And people don't think of Arizona as a wine region, and that's because it's still up and coming. It's just starting out. And the flavor of a wine really varies depending on the type of soil that it's grown in. And because Arizona has such a unique type of soil, its flavor is also unique. But really what it comes down to is your own personal taste. So we found some wines that we really liked and some we didn't so much, but I'm glad we stopped by.
Next, we're off to Prescott via a winding mountain pass through Jerome. We arrived just in time for the world's oldest rodeo, so we had to check it out.
This is my first rodeo, and it was very cool. It was a 3-hour event featuring a bunch of events with large cash prizes. They start by trying to saddle 5 broncos all at once, with cowboys being dragged all across the arena. Then some steer wrestling, bronco riding, tie-down roping, team roping, and strangely enough, some motorcycle stunting, plus barrel racing, and to top it all off, of course, bull riding.
The bull riding looked like fun, so I thought I'd give it a try. Well, they wouldn't let me ride a real bull, so I found the next best thing. While I did get some bruises from gripping on so tight, I did make it past the 8 seconds needed to get a score. However, while the bull riding was fun, it wasn't quite the scariest thing that we rode in Arizona.
We visited a motorcyclist friend in Phoenix who had an impressive stable of bikes, and he let us ride his Hayabusa, which is one of the fastest production bikes on the market. Plus, it had a turbocharger. With 250 horsepower at the rear wheel, this bike was downright scary, in a good way.
To keep up, he also let us ride a sweet 996 Ducati while showing us around town. Totally worth the 107-degree heat. On our way out, I also got a chance to try a Honda CX500 Turbo. This bike is from the future, or at least the 1982's vision of the future, and they only produced it for 1 year because of all the technology they packed into it. This put it out of most people's price range. The turbo lag just makes it that much more fun.
Coming up next, how hard is it to cross the border with motorcycles? We'll find out as the real adventure begins and we head into Mexico and explore the regional cuisine and culture along the way. If you live there or have been to any of these places, tell us where we should stop by. You can email us if you have any ideas. Just send them to feedback@hungryriders.com or tweet us @hungryriders.
And please comment on our videos. Let us know what you think, or just say hi on our Facebook page at facebook.com/hungryriders. And be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube at youtube.com/hungryriders. And of course, follow our whole adventure at hungryriders.com.
Yo, when you come to Arizona, you eat cactus and rattlesnake. Right?
You got it.